What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. I am out in beautiful Ojai, California today because we are doing a 3-video series with my oldest off-road buddy, Baja Zay, out here. We are doing a video on his second-gen Tacoma. We are doing a video on his almost pre-runner like Titan, and we did a video on his Bronco. So make sure you guys are subscribed, make sure you stay tuned, because as I said, it is a 3-part series with 3 great off-road vehicles. And today we are doing what possibly might be my favorite vehicle out of his entire fleet, this crazy Titan right here behind me. So he said he wants to jack it up first so he could show off all of his droop and show me how much I'm missing out on because I have a mid-travel Tacoma. But he's gonna jack it up right now, and then we're gonna get into this build breakdown. Kickflip. Strut my ankles. Worse than one of those razor scooters. Roll down the hill and shit. Yeah, it's good enough. All right, man, you're gonna have to introduce yourself again for the people that haven't seen the other 2 videos. So go ahead, let them know who you are.
What's up, guys? Baja Zay here. World famous Baja Zay, YouTube, Instagram. Check me out. I do different builds. We have the Bronco, the Titan. We have Tacoma down the street. We got a 7.3 diesel right here. We got an RV. We got a 65 Impala back there. We got this RAV4 across the street here. Whatever you guys want info on building, I'll build it all, baby. Come hit me up. But today we're gonna be talking about my 2007 Nissan Titan. It's got approximately 115,000 miles or so. I bought it back in 2017 from the owner of Dirt King. It originally was his truck, his show truck. It was the truck that was supposed to, pretty much they advertised for their business. So one of the first production race kits, race long travel kits from Dirt King was actually put on this truck. I came along in 2017, seen it sitting in his parking lot, and asked about buying it, and my buddy was very close to him, so I wanted to buy something that was already halfway. Well, it's not even halfway, it was kind of like a quarter way there. It had the race kit on it already. It just had the same set of coilovers that are on it now, and then it had no bump stops, just had lemon straps. I bought it from him, and I also bought a rear kit for it off of Will Janzer and rolled it into everything that I was paying for the truck. Will had gave me a bed cage that he MIG welded up that was really nice, that came off his Titan. This bed cage was paired with some 16-inch 2.5 by 16 double bypasses, and with the same, or with a leaf spring kit from Vector Spring down in East County, San Diego. They had a spring under kit that was paired with that, and then I think he gave me a couple other pieces, perches, just other different miscellaneous stuff to pair everything together. I had a buddy of mine down there. As soon as I bought it, he helped me weld everything up. Well, he welded everything up. I just sat there, drinking beer. I didn't know much then. I did simple stuff like, you know, tightening down the U-bolt, stuff like that. Showing me how to set up pinion angle and all that. His name's Frank. He helped me finish that truck up. So the first time me really driving the truck was in the desert, basically. I test drove it before I bought it, and then I drove it. I bought it and then did all the work, had the spring under put on it, and took it out to the desert. So keep in mind, I told you what was in the front, and then the back was just the bypasses, and was it bumped? It was bumped. Everything was done in the back, was done, but it was it was done on a budget. I paid my buddy like 150 bucks, dude, and we freaking went to town with it, and I helped him out. Like, it was just like this hack, you know, job put together, but it worked good, you know. So we went out to Cal City. I'm like 21, something like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got this badass truck, let me jump it. So I'm freaking hitting this little road gap all day. It's over on Cadillac Road in Cal City, and I hit it, and then I come over, everything's smooth, and I'm doing this all day, having a blast. Truck's running so good. Besides that, you know, I was having an issue with the battery. I blew out the battery tray, so the battery was just all over the place, and I was trying to, you know, it would cut off. I turn off the truck, and it would basically not, it wouldn't be able to turn on because the battery disconnected because the terminal, it was just a mess. So later on in that day, you know, we're drinking, having some fun. We're like, oh, let's go on a night run. And if you've been in the desert, you know how it is. When you go on a night run, you shouldn't go on a night run. You know, you probably are not gonna make a good decision when you're off-road. And I was driving around, and I was freaking coming around, and then I came back around. We're going on some trails with some buddies. Came back around, getting back to camp, and I seen the road gap, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit that again. And you know, at nighttime, it's hard to judge how far a distance is or how fast you were hitting it in the daytime. Very different hit. Came off that same road gap, was probably hitting it probably 10 to 15 miles faster. And I basically hit it, and then the whole truck went black, like everything cut off, and came down, didn't soak it up. The front freaking smashed down. So what happened was, as we came down, I smelled smoke. It was dark. The truck was dark. There was a smell of smoke, so I knew something was going down. Got out the truck. You know, home camp's right there. Everybody comes over. Freaking open the engine bay, see a red wire glowing around the engine bay, and I'm like, oh shit. It's like, this thing's about to burn down. You know, I was scared. And I look under there, front, what is it? I think it's passenger side shock hoop was completely collapsed. That's obvious because I didn't have any bump stops. I'm over here just, you know, bottoming out the truck without any extra insurance that it can actually handle the hit. So the chassis, pretty much that shock hoop was taking all that gravity, all that weight that was coming down on it. So cavitated the passenger side shock hoop. The battery, what happened with the battery came out the tray, hit the bottom of the hood, grounded out the bottom of the hood, and then some component, I guess, shorted out, which was I had an external fan in front of the radiator that comes stock, that comes on when you're like in traffic or something to help cool the truck down. So that shorted out. So I look around and see this wire situation, so I just cut out the old wire. Obviously the trip's done at that point. The shock hoop's pretty much cavitated. So I drive this thing back. It's like this, you know, I'm driving all the way back a whole 2 hours back home, and the thing's all sideways. So I come back up here. I bring the truck back up here. Have a local shop, cut it out, bend it back, re-weld it. Kind of real, just, you know, simple fix, quick fix. Ended up working out for a couple more trips. I went to Will and I was like, hey man, can I get some bump stops put on? He put bump stops on the truck. They were mounted before on the frame rail, before they were moved up top. He put bump stops on the truck. Okay, I got that crossed off the list. The rear, I was having issues with leaky seals, so I had to put, I also put new shafts, well, pretty much new assemblies, new shaft assemblies with new bearings and seals pressed on. That way I can correct the leaking issue, because what's notorious with these trucks is transmission issues and rear end issues, and they're very finicky with electrical. So I did that, and I moved into wanting to invest more into the truck because I wanted to go faster. So I was kind of just on the fence about, oh, what's the next step? Four-linking, what's that? What does that entail? I had a buddy named Tanner. He's in San Diego. I forget which part now because he has a shop now. Back then he didn't have a shop, was just doing everything out of his house. And he's like, hey man, I'll four-link the truck for you. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. I say, how much? He's like, I know that's expensive. And he's like, bro, just buy the materials and I'll do it cheap labor. So what I do, I went to go buy all the parts, put it together, and it ended up being fairly cheap. We'll kind of highlight each of those parts as we go back there and look at the truck. I don't want to give all the details right now. And then after I knocked out the four-link, you know, I was driving back with the truck. I drove it back after he finished that. The freaking hood, he also put this fiberglass hood on it after he four-linked it. Funny thing, the fiberglass hood wasn't fully installed. We had an issue where I drove it back. I got down the Canal grade right here in Camarillo. I was coming downhill, the hood flew open, shattered the front windshield, and I had to get the truck towed back. Got a new windshield placed on it, which is destroyed again because I've been welding, you know, and I didn't cover the windshield. Fun fact, cover your windshield or your paint because you'll destroy it when you weld. Spatter is not your friend. So I got the hood fully installed. Actually, yeah, I had a buddy, Motor Crusader, over in Pyro, the same one that did the bed stiffeners on Tacoma. I had him fully install the hood for me during that time. And then I moved into finalizing the four-link. There was a couple of cycling issues and changing spring rates in the back that I had to figure out, which I did. From there, I was like, okay, now I got the four-link. I took it out, enjoyed it. It was nothing crazy. Now it's time to figure out what am I gonna do to make sure I'm safe when I go off-road. So I started to think about a cage. Hey, I need to protect myself because there's nothing more important than protecting the person driving the truck. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just a vehicle at the end of the day. So you You need to put your life first and spend the money on the cage. Cages are expensive for a reason. They need to be done right. Everything needs to be laid out right. They need to be the right material for the right weight of the truck. And that's very important. What I went by is I went by the score rulebook on a lot of things. There's some things that could be better. There's some things that are up to par. And that's how you should do things. So went to Kyle Lum in San Diego. I said, hey man, I'm looking to build a race legal cage. I was looking at the weight numbers per the score rulebook, and it says that I should build a 2-inch cage, 2-inch 120 wall DOM cage at least, for how heavy this truck is. And so we priced out the material, did all the mains 2-inch, did all the main pillars, A, B, C pillar in 2-inch. Tie-ins, most tie-ins are 2-inch. The back wall is stepped down to 1.75 inches, just because we're limited with room. So we got everything done. He chopped the roof off, peeled the roof off. We put the roof back, or he put the roof back on after he welded 360 around the whole thing, tied it into the frame, and got the truck back, trailered it back, and bam, had a cage. We can start going through the whole, you know, what's on the front and everything. So these right here are the carbon 3.0 by 10 4.2 bypasses. And then this right next to it is King 2.5 by 10 coilover. And then this is King 2.0 2x2 bump stop. Limit straps right here. This race kit is pretty much as it's been since Dirt King made it. I have not done anything to it besides just, you know, general maintenance.
This is Dirt King spindle.
Dirt King spindle too. That's
nice.
My favorite part about the whole kit is how beefy the spindle is.
Yeah, it's
such a, you know, a big piece. I love it. So yeah, we have stock hubs on here. We have the Dirt King hub covers. Robbie Gordon wheels. As you can see, I have a thing for Robbie Gordon wheels. I think they're beautiful wheels. You know what I mean? I would like to get some real true bead locks, but you know, they're kind of pricey right now. I have these 37 KR2s race tires. I'd gotten these secondhand from some shop in like, I think it was like in LA, some off-road tire shop. Stock rack and pinion for the steering. This is Dirt King bumper. This came with the truck originally. All I did was change the light bar. Stock grille, aftermarket headlights. The hood is from Roadrunner fiberglass. The front fenders are from McNeil fiberglass. All the bolts are grade 8. Everything's shanked, flange nuts. Everything's torqued, torque striped for inspection purposes. And the fact of prep is very important. Let's ready for me to take off the hood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, don't mind me. So right here, upgraded the power steering reservoir. I wanted something a little bit more sleek and to complement the engine bay, so I added this one, some Amazon special power steering reservoir. I put this coolant reservoir here, made some tabs for it. Engine cage from Tanner, and I really like this cross member. It really came out nice. I forget what the brand was of this cold air intake. I totally forget the name of it, but I put that on there. Definitely like the whole polished look, looks nice. I did the radiator when I lived in San Diego. I had an issue with the radiator leaking, so I did it in a buddy's freaking driveway. And dude, this radiator has it running cool. I can be in Superstition in the dunes and it runs cool. Same thing, I haven't had any issues with this truck cooling wise. The only issues I've had with this truck was pretty much with electrical and it's sitting. So don't let vehicles sit, you know, especially when you got heavy rain. This is the reason why this truck has this amount of corrosion and stuff like that. You gotta, it's hard to keep in the garage too because it's so damn big, you know what I mean? It's just a huge truck. It's 96 inches tire to tire. That's pretty wide, bro. So the motor's completely stock. I haven't done anything to the motor at all. But I think that pretty much sums up the front. Do you have any questions about the front?
No, dude. I'm a sucker for interiors. Let's check that out.
All right. So interior is fairly clean. I mean, I vacuumed it last time, so it looks decent enough. I still got to build a center console in the middle. I kind of just made this quick little switchboard. As you can tell, nothing symmetrical here. It's Switch Pros 8-shooter. I wired everything myself. The control panels in the back. I have interior dome lights up here, and that's controlled on the board here. I have my front light bar, rear lights, and I have whips also controlled on here for the back whenever I plug in the whips. Have my little twerker right here. Hey. My wife made me this. It's filled with lavender, so when I'm about to hit a jump, I can just ooh-saw real quick. Beautiful tie-ins to the cab right here. My door bars are fairly low. I didn't want some aggressive door bar. The goal for this truck was just to be, just a mild pre-runner for the weekend. I wasn't planning to ever race this truck, although I'd like to do a smaller race or something like that one day. Nothing too crazy. Fire extinguishers, I have 2 inside, one right here, one in the back, and I have one in the very back on the back half. It's always important to have fire extinguishers. And oh yeah, the steering wheel. The steering wheel is from D&D Performance Interior. They do a lot of great steering wheel stuff. They have a bunch of different quick releases, different hubs that you can adapt to your vehicle. The seats are some just offer up specials that I found. Dude wanted a freaking 100 per seat, so I bought all 4 for 400 bucks. Dude was just sitting in a sand row. My dad picked them up from the guy. He was down in the LA area, so it ended up working out. So I picked these suckers up. They're pretty comfortable. I'm happy with them, The Mastercraft harnesses, I got all 4 for 160. They are out of date. I have a buddy that's bought me some PRP harnesses, which was very nice of him that I got to pick up, so those will be in the truck. So yeah, one thing I'm missing is just center console in here, and just other stuff like a carpet kit, just anything to make it more comfortable. I don't want it to be a luxury thing. I just want it to be super comfortable, sealed off. I like the roof because it reminds me of like a spaceship or something. I feel like I'm at Space Mountain or something.
I'm gonna peep the back seat real fast, just because in like a lot of race vehicles, like I know it's not a race vehicle, but I'm just used to race vehicles not having back seats at all, or like single cab vehicles where you can't fit 4 people, so it's cool to see vehicles where you can actually fit 4 people.
It is nice to have 4 people in here because you have a whole crew up in here. It's you get people that have the experience, and it's a different feel from being in the front of the truck to the back of the truck too.
Yeah, like your little hydration system you got here.
Yeah, I know. I need to fix the fucking. It'll like the sticky stuff. It just needs to stick a little bit better. I need to wrap it around.
Sticky stuff's not sticking.
Yeah, because of this material. They're made to go on hard shell seats, and these are not hard shell. These are leather, so
nice.
It'll stick well.
So the fire extinguisher you talked about. Got a little bit of storage behind the seat.
Yep, a little bit of storage back here. Got my big back window still, and I can still still breathe through. Get a nice little tunnel in here.
Speaking of that back window, got a nice view of what's going on in the back there. Nice fuel cell, nice spare tires.
RCI fuel cell. You know what I mean?
Do we just tease it a little? Tease it a little?
Might as well dabble.
Now, dude, this truck's kind of built like a mullet. You got the business in the front, you got the party in the back. Back's where it's going down.
That's right.
All right, so fill us in. Let's go.
Let's start from the front of the cab back, or the back of the cab to the back here. So yeah, this is a RCI 32-gallon fuel cell. The fuel cell straps, a local buddy of mine cut them out for me, and they've been pretty cool. He put Scott Isaiah built pretty much my name on there, which is a nice touch because it kind of personalizes the vehicle. I have nothing else really personal to the vehicle on here. And all the back cage work was done by Tanner. I have some pod lights in the front there. All the fuel cell stuff was done by Tanner as well. All the plumbing. The shocks back here are 4-tube 3.0 by 18 bypasses.
Gotta get down here.
Oh yeah, let me see that.
We gotta see what's in here.
So those are 3.0 by 18 4-tube bypasses. And we got right in front of that, we have the 2.5 by 14 coilover. And then right next to that, we have the 2.0 by 4-inch bump stop. And we have some RW limiting straps. The links are from Rough Stuff Specialties. They're their rock crawler URD links. They're pretty badass. They're cheap. They've done their job. I paid $600 for them. 600, but they were welded yourself. 600 with bungs and everything, or with rod ends. And the rear axle is from Wicked Creations. The rear end is from Wicked Creations, 3.5 housing. It's got 567 gears in it, nodular third member, 35 spline. The brakes are GM brakes. the full floater kit is from Solid Axle Industries. It's their Dana 60 kit, and that Dana 60 kit comes with everything. Comes with snouts, brakes, hubs. It comes with everything to convert it to a full floater. When I got this housing, it was fairly wide. Tanner cut it down to the size, whatever WMS that we wanted to go with, which is the wheel mating surface. However, whatever width you want it, you cut it down and then you weld on the snouts and everything else. So he got the, I forget what size the axle shafts were. I know the 35 spline, I think they were 600M or something like that, size shafts. Same thing, Robbie Gordon wheels, KR2s. We have the 2.5 hubs, which are sticking out here. So, Quick Performance, 2.5 hubs. The third member is also from Quick Performance. I got a brand new from them. Link mounts. The link mounts were, they already, I think Tanner welded the link mounts, the lower link mounts on that go to the axle here. And then the front link mounts were also made by Tanner. So he made those in-house. Tanner does everything. He's got a plasma table. He can make you anything you want. 2 KR2 spares with a Steely 17-inch wheel up front. I couldn't source 2 more Robbies because they're hard enough to get. I mean, I have them on my other truck, but I'm not gonna sacrifice them just for that. I can run a spare Steely. And bumper, you know, I put the bumper on here. Wheels aren't great, you know, but that was by me. I put this little tail light because, you know, it's got to stay street legal a little bit at least.
For Arizona.
Yeah, for Arizona street legal, you know what I'm saying? Tail lights. These tail lights are from Amazon Specials. These bed sides are from Advanced Fiberglass, or pretty much they were Glassworks. So beef. Yeah. Even though I said Advanced on both the Tacoma and Titan, these are originally Advanced, or not Advanced, Glassworks, which is now Advanced. All of the fiberglass tie-ins were done by Tanner. So the drive shaft was made by a local company to Tanner down in San Diego. They made me that custom piece because I have a 2-piece drive shaft with a slip yoke and the engagement wasn't up to par, so I had to get a little bit of a longer drive shaft made. But it's also smaller in diameter, but it's just as strong. So we upgraded the drive shaft. Tanner also made the upper link mounts out of tubing and welded bungs and all that stuff.
I tried so hard to zoom in on the drive shaft and I couldn't focus.
I know, it's so hard to get under there. Unless you lift the back.
They're just gonna hear you talking, the blurry drive shaft.
Yeah.
Well, what about the exhaust?
Oh, yeah.
As I'm down here, I just see an exhaust sticking out right at me.
Yeah, so the exhaust was welded by a buddy of mine, Adrian. He's local out here, but it's basically all 3-inch. I put long tube JBA long tube headers on here that are at the front. That goes into a white pipe, into a 3-inch white pipe, into a race Venom muffler, which is just a single out and banks down, and like you saw. Definitely like Black Widows. Black Widows. I like the sound that they emit. It's really nice. And the only thing that's downside of them is they have a lot of rasp. So a resonator is really recommended. Especially with the V8, it's kind of hard to get that right sound with the Black Widow because you're putting, especially a single chamber muffler, it gets so loud. And you have to figure out a way to clean up the rasp. But I've seen a lot of X-pipe deals where people X-pipe them and then they have duals and stuff like that on big V8s, big block V8s, and they sound amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think ending on the exhaust is the perfect place to end because, I mean, you were revving it before I got to start recording, so maybe when you're putting it back now, we can hear the exhaust.
So to touch by why we're not driving it this time.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that. Yeah.
Let's touch real quick. So, not driving this time because I have a misfire issue where it's misfiring on different cylinders. When I originally did the fuel cell, I put foam in it, and I still have a stock pickup. See, with the stock pickups with these fuel cells, it's just a 1-inch aluminum tube that goes down to the corner of the fuel cell. So that 1-inch tube, anything under that 1 inch is going to get sucked into that pickup, and of course, since the fuel filter start clogging things. With foam does break down no matter what over time. What I plan to do, drain the fuel, swap out the fuel filter. I'm going to put a Holley Hydromat pickup, which is pretty much a bag that goes to the bottom of the tank. That's pretty much a net bag. That is a better aftermarket option for a pickup because it picks up every piece or every bit of fuel that's in there. Even when you're in hard corners or you're low on fuel, it'll get every little bit of fuel out of it. So I'll do that, adapt it to the 1-inch tube that will act as kind of like a filter as well before it even gets up into the pickup. And then, like I said, replace the fuel filter. I need to add a sending unit because I don't know how much gas is in it ever. You know, whenever I'm driving, I ran out of gas multiple times. You want to enjoy driving no matter where it is, you know. not only off-road. That's what, at least what I think, you know. It's still a vehicle, it's still a registered vehicle that I can take on the road, so why not enjoy it on the road?
While you get off the jacks, I'll talk to them. So yeah, like you said, we're unable to drive it at all, let alone in the desert. And you know, with these build breakdown videos, I like to kind of give demos and show them in the desert. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do a second video. I have no idea when that's gonna be because desert season's pretty much over now, but once he gets that fixed, once we get it out to the desert, we will get a second video for you guys of this thing ripping, because I know you guys want to see it go to work. It could talk the talk, it could look pretty, but can it rip? Can it?
Damn right, you seen that video?
Oh.
You seen that video, that jump video, man?
Dude, it's a rad vehicle. Kind of bummed I haven't seen it in the desert firsthand yet, but you know, once she's dialed in, once she's ready to go ripping, I expect to be in that passenger seat with some GoPros.
Hopefully, you know, I have this thing ready for you in a month. That way you can see, and it'll be cool days. We can get a day out there in Cal City, something like that.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Well, I want to thank you so much for letting me spend the day with you at your house and showing me around your fleet of off-road vehicles. Some built crazy, some built for daily driving, the Tacoma back there, and then some just fun little project vehicles that came from nothing and turned into something. So
yes, sir.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Thank you. And as he said in other videos, make sure you guys go watch those other videos. He has a YouTube channel himself that all of these vehicles have been on, right? Yep. All three of them have been on the channel.
Yep.
So go there, subscribe to him, help him grow, so I can get him making more content.
That's right. I need to be pushed. I'm trying to be like this guy over here, you know, but it's hard. It's all fun, you know. So thanks guys, appreciate it for watching the video. I'll see you out there.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me